Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Oh my god. Mostly?
Listen, it's not often on this podcast that we get not a movie. It transcends movie.
Experience.
It goes in, it just rockets out of the stratosphere of what a movie can be and what a movie should be, and goes into absolute absurdity where it's more of an experience than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
This movie is absurd.
This movie is like equal parts stupid, brain dead, and amazing. Like all of those together.
Like, I'm in awe of like how much I enjoyed this movie, but I'm very confused of why I enjoyed it as well.
Because it tickled a part of your fucking deformed lizard brain.
My troglodyte, undeveloped brain.
The inner brain.
The inner brain
was tickled.
That just loves this kind of shit.
Because, holy fuck. There's so much that happens in this movie.
Well, and it's weird because it's like, it's not a complex movie.
Not really. Not the plot, at least.
Not the plot,
The events is a whole different story.
Yes.
But the actual plot, it's simple.
Very simple.
Which is what you want in a lizard brain movie.
Summed up in a line, which again, it's an action movie, so you don't need a big plot. Which is fine. You just need a setup for why they get from point A to point B.
You just set up for why are there people punching each other.
That's it.
There you go. And this has that. By the way, the film is Dragon Force.
Yes.
2 words.
Start of our 1982 adventure.
The start, and it's beautiful.
You know, it's not bad this time. Sometimes we get some real stinkers.
Right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate, but this one, no.
No, this is beyond entertaining.
This is like a shitty masterpiece. It's like, I don't know. We always say this, but it's just so true. It's like the movies that we made this podcast for.
Oh yeah, the shit that you would never...
Where they're just trying so fucking hard. And like, it's just complete awful gobbledygook garbage, but for some reason it's so fucking entertaining.
It's just like, it's childish.
Oh, it's incredibly childish.
There's ninjas and boobs and secret agents and gadgets. Like, it's childish. It's what a child likes, which is why I liked it.
It's great.
Because my inner baby brain was like, yeah!
Hell yeah!
Gadgets!
There was some really, not well filmed. I'm not gonna say this movie was well filmed at all.
It's insane.
The choreography is okay, but there's some pretty interesting fight sequences that they went places that I didn't even.
Well, they went places because there's just so much happening and so much it goes beyond just 2 people punching each other.
Yes. So the plot of the film can be very quickly described. So we get a foreign diplomat. She's like princess.
She's a princess.
Yugoslavia. What is it?
What's it? Mongolia.
Mongolia. So they just took Mongolia and put an R in it. So she's
It's already stupid.
So they're all traveling to
somewhere.
They're on a tour, these foreign diplomats. There's a king, a queen, and the daughter, but the daughter's in a separate plane, so they're en route to somewhere, and someone sabotages
their plane.
The other plane.
So they have to land in Hong Kong.
So yes, the princess has to land in Hong Kong, and there's an evil guy that has a plot with the Soviets. The princess and the Soviets.
He's gonna kidnap her.
Oh my god.
And
this is the stupid...
Because they need stainless steel
A trade deal with
for nukes.
Mongolia.
Mongolian steel. Because they need steel to build the nukes. So, and she won't sign the deal. So they kidnap her.
This might be a hot take for those of you who like the movie I'm about to mention, but this is stupider than the plot of Quantum of Solace.
Water?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I will say the events of this are fucking. If you think about it for 5 seconds,
Oh,
it's like, oh, simple.
It's fucking dumb.
You kidnap her for steel. So
Yeah, but
she
they-
signs
But they already killed her parents.
but they killed her parents in a plane crash.
So his master plan is to kill her parents, so she becomes the
Head of state.
Head of state. So she strikes a trade deal with the Soviets.
But see, she won't sign it, so they got other plans. And in the meantime, there's an American secret agent who joins a secret society of fighters called the Dragon Force. And
Now, what's his name? Alex, please tell us.
Jack Sargent.
What a action hero, like, schlocky name.
It's like a name from like a fucking like old like 80s or 90s shoot 'em up game. Like if you ever played like Contra or fucking Metal Slug.
Well, that's fitting because he kind of acts like one, and he also has a captain that talks like a video game character.
Well, there's
as well.
a scene where they literally like they sit down.
He's getting a briefing, and
The captain has a slideshow.
And I shit you not, the captain sounds like someone from like Time Crisis or something. Like when they give you the briefings right before you go into the mission.
All right, Jack. Here's what's going on. There's a kidnapped princess. You're our last hope.
It's very like all information.
Very dry. Very gruff.
Like it's just you get all the information. Start mission.
Mission start. Mission movie.
Yes.
Movie start. Like,
movie mission start.
I just want to say, by the way, like, because that's the plot, right? There's a scene in the beginning that I don't know what the fuck has to do with anything. It's just like an intro to Jack Sargent, I guess, where he's in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, okay.
We know this because there's a title card that flashes on the screen for like a millisecond.
Which is hilarious because the other title screens at least last long enough to know where we're at.
But in this one, it's like Newport, Rhode Island, and it's just like it's on the screen for 1 millisecond. And you're just like, well, what? And it's like a boatyard, and he just goes there and walks up to some old guy on the table, and the old guy's like, "You got the bread?" He's like, "You got the ice?" And then they
trade money and diamonds,
and then they start fighting, and then he kills all of them.
Well, he climbs up like it's like this shipyard, so it's like
all these boats like stacked.
He climbs up like everything and like just flies at these guys and kills every single one of them, dispatches them all, and then start movie.
And then that scene goes nowhere.
Oh, and then I don't know if they were supposed to show the title here or if like it just got cut off
because we already have like an opening credits where it's him like punching a punching bag, but then like after this scene when it ends,
we got a really rough like VHS rip. So
it's like him pointing a gun,
and it like
and
the
there's
target goes down
to his face, and then it's just
it goes down to the barrel of the gun.
Oh yeah, and then like scene cuts
like some James Bond shit. I know.
What did they say in the double bubble guy
from England? Yep, that's what Chu says. We'll get there, okay?
Chu.
Also, we'll get there.
Well, we also know that like the princess is flying in, and we know from this big fat guy playing chess that Black Cobra is going to sabotage their plane. Who the fuck Black Cobra is?
Well, he's going to sabotage their plane, but he's also, I guess, they're also hiring a bunch of... these Russians really like ninjas. Like,
there's so much ninja shit in this.
Dude, these Russians have like a fucking ninja fetish. They hired like...
all of them.
Every single ninja they could find, because there are If you like ninjas, boy howdy, you get like hundreds of ninjas.
This, it's the 80s when it's just fucking. There's like
This thing
ninja
is
cavalcade.
Jam packed with ninjas. There's scenes where literally it's like just ninja after
Jumping
ninja
out of windows.
after ninja after ninja, just jumping off.
Well,
of
that
shit.
scene was like a fucking like naked gun gag.
Yeah, because they kept multiplying every time. Again, we'll get to the fight scenes. We just want to we'll set everything up real quick.
But yeah, they like sabotage the plane. She lands. She goes to like a mansion, and as soon as she gets there,
So it's a mansion where her supposed friends are. So it's one guy that she knows,
Richard,
and
his sister
Ava, and
all the bodyguards.
She gets shown around by like an escort. That's not like a, like not an escort, but like a
bodyguards.
Yeah.
But
she gets shown around, and then she like is laying down, and the woman like leaves the door like propped open a little bit, and you see, of course, a ninja face.
I just want to say, the way we are introduced to Richard in the movie is he's like, "Hey, I got some awesome cocaine.
Oh yeah. Do you want to?
Do you want to get even more high?
I know you were high, but do you want to get even more high?
That's his, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, 80s, immediate. It's awesome cocaine. And also, like, he's like, when they're like sitting there, he's like, yeah, I'm into sculptures now. Tell you what, show me your bust. And that goes, nothing happens there. But yeah, she goes into the shower, the bath, to take a bath, while the ninjas
come in,
and then they go in, and they. My favorite is like
they stuff her into a sack.
Well, my favorite is like they don't just walk into the room, right? They like climb up this pillar with like these like claw hands.
They claw in, and then they have to like double front flip into the through the window.
You can't just
crawl
walk
through the window, okay? No,
ninjas.
You have to. You're a ninja in an '80s movie. You have to double front flip through that.
You know why? Because it looks fucking cool.
It looks cool as fuck.
And then when they open the door, he like Jimmy rigs it with his fucking sword. And then they come in.
They pick her up, stuff her into a fucking sack.
Like a potato sack.
And then fucking cinch it closed. Oh, sorry. We should say they knock her out first. Because they wouldn't be able to do the next thing they do without it. They yeet her off the fucking balcony.
And you hear the body hitting the fucking ground.
Well, so one guy catches her, but like, I mean... they just yeet her off this fucking balcony.
Well, you get like this action scene where they beat the shit out of all these bodyguards while throwing the sack around.
They're like tossing her like, a game of keep away. The fucking sack of a person. Just fucking keep away. Ha ha ha.
Oh my god. But yeah, they kidnap her and that's that. Our guy is like, there's a scene where our guy, Jack
Sargent, he's swimming around in a pool with two ladies, and he swims.
They're just talking about sex.
Oh yeah.
That's how he's introduced in the scene.
He's like swimming up to them. Oh yeah.
The fucking guy, like
I should mention before we go any further, this entire movie is completely dubbed. And
everyone's dubbed.
Every single character is dubbed, and there's no natural noise, so it's really weird and jarring sometimes, and it makes for like really awkward, like silent scenes.
Well, it also just makes every conversation really weird.
Because they don't really, they add some original scores in there, of course, but there's some scenes where they keep it silent the entire time.
Well, there's a scene, like, later on where it's, like, a scene transition, and it's supposed to be them, like, driving somewhere, but it's just, like, the dialogue cuts off, and we get a stock footage of a freeway.
It's so awkward.
With silence. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Ones too.
It's like, okay.
But, anyway, so he swims up to the ladies, he's hitting on them, he gets a phone call.
And he's like, nope.
He's like, nope. And he throws the phone. Oh, no. He's like, what does he say? It's like, do you want to get deeper or something? And he throws the phone.
I'll show you deeper.
Yeah.
And then he throws the phone. And then, like, they're like, haha. And then this like waiter comes up with like their food and some cocktails and some fortune cookies. And then they all read the fortune cookies, and the woman's like, oh, like you'll meet a handsome man. And
one is like, you should tip your wait staff better.
And then he reads his, and it just tells him, go here.
He's like, ah, damn it. How is there a... It's a video game. This is a...
It's a video game, yeah.
It's a video game, because how else would there be a message in a fucking fortune cookie?
No, that's literally what happened in like a goofy video game, is you get a fucking secret message in a fortune cookie telling you to get your ass to work. And then this is where he has the meeting with
this just tells me that the sergeant knew he was gonna fucking just yeet the phone in the fucking pool, and he was like, okay, fucking bake it into that one fortune cookie that he's definitely gonna choose, even though we have no idea which fortune cookie, or if it even...
To be fair, the waiter...
He does hand him out, that's true.
But they have to know that he's gonna open the fortune cookie.
What if he just yeeted the fortune?
Or he's like, oh, I'm allergic. I'm allergic.
What if he just fucking threw it in the pool?
Then they have another backup plan. There'd be like a blimp in the sky.
Jack Sargent, get your ass
to work. But this is where he like has the briefing, and there's like this fucking... It's like they show him like a picture of like a building thing that he has to enter, and he's like, and there's like some text on it. He's like, how do you pronounce that? And the guy's like, I'm not even going to try.
This is the greatest.
And then he gets to Hong Kong, takes a taxi.
It's the greatest company name in any... Like, I will bet anyone, this is the greatest company name in any movie ever.
I can't believe they did this.
So it's called the Fucking Great Flower Company.
Fucking great flower.
Fucking great flower.
But my favorite is he walks up, like they build it up, right? Because they're like, how do you pronounce that? I'm not even going to try. And then it's like 5 minutes later, he walks up,
the side,
and then he looks at it, and we see it, and he just kind of like smiles.
Oh my god.
I'm like, are you joking?
The Fucking Great Flower Company. And there's like this cheery, like happy music playing while he's walking through.
Walking through, and he sneezes.
And he's like, ah, chew. And
a guy's like, me?
Yes? How can I help you?
You're Achu? He's like, not quite. The first time was right. Ah, chew. And then he's like, okay, what's the password? He didn't tell me there'd be a password. He's like, that is the password. And then they go into a fucking room.
And he fucking tosses him a fucking marble nuke.
And he's like, what is this? It's a nuke.
He can level a city, and they're just fucking tossing it around like nothing.
And then he's Q from James Bond. He shows him a bulletproof...
Ah Chu. This is the Chinese Q. His name is Ah Chu.
Ah Q. And he shows him a bulletproof sweater. He shows him a yo-yo that can explode things. Like, all this shit. And the guy's like, I don't need it.
It's like, I just need to know where to find this dude.
Where to find the Dragon Force.
Yep, so the guy kind of gives him a vague explanation.
Well, we also have a great line where he's like, I have more stuff, but it's reserved for Bubble O from England.
Yeah, Double Bubble O from England.
It's a Bond reference
yes.
in this fucking thing. But yeah, he tells him to go to this forest. And he goes there.
So he goes there, he sees a woman playing
video game scene, chapter 3
yes.
commences.
So he goes after the Fucking Great Flower Company.
I still can't believe they did that.
So he goes into the forest and he sees a woman playing a fucking flute. And she's painting something now, and he goes over and they start fighting.
And then she grabs a Tarzan vine.
This is the worst. This is worst edited scene in the entire fucking movie, because she just like nothing's happening. They're fighting, and then she just grabs a vine and then fucking flies out of frame.
Yeah, but the shots of her on the vine last like 2 milliseconds.
Yeah, because it's just her feet.
So the whole time you're just like, what? And then she's gone.
I was confused the whole fucking time. I kind of knew what was happening because my brain was putting it together, but like it took a minute to catch up.
You had to catch up. And then he goes to like a...
It goes to like a lumber yard.
It's like all these logs floating in the water. And he fights a person in a mask.
A guy in a mask throws him a sword, and they start fighting. And
the guy runs away.
Well, he cuts his mask off, and it shows his face, and then the guy loses the fight and runs away.
Then he fights 2 guys with like a paper mache Chinese dragon.
Yep, that can like close its eyelids, and they're like jumping on top of each other.
They're bumping them, and
and they're like jumping on each other's shoulders, and like.
There's a part where he's like on top of the dragon, and they jump on each other's shoulders, and they start like pounding him into a fucking tree branch.
Yes.
Weird, insane
Video
shit. Game. Really creative, but it's a video game.
It's a fighting video game now.
And then he like
at certain points it's a beat 'em up. Now it's a fighting game.
Yeah, it's like mini boss battles, and then they're gone. They just like jump off a cliff.
And then he like goes to this like
temple,
and there's a guy there, and he's like, "Are you the next challenge or whatever?" And he's like, "No, I'm whatever. I'm the head of the dragon." And
I'm the head of the Dragon Force.
We have a repeat offender here.
Bruce
Lee.
L-I, I think.
It's spelled L-I, but it's Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
I always say Le because for context's sake, but it's Bruce Lee.
It's Bruce Lee.
And I actually don't hate him in this movie. Like, he's actually pretty decent.
Look,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can't fucking off the top of my head remember his other movies. I think they were entertaining. But so far, he's had like 4 fucking movies on this podcast.
This is like, I would say this is almost like his best choreography.
Well, this is by far the most
filmed.
Original movie.
So
but he's like telling him like, if you want to join, like
he's like, you got one more trial, like you're not in it yet.
And then he's like, show me what you got. And then he goes up, and there's like all these weapons.
He chooses just a bow staff,
a simple bow staff, and he gives him a quick demonstration. And then Bruce Lee takes his big fucking bow staff.
His fucking compensating for something incredible length bow staff. Like and twice the size of the fucking dudes.
Smashes some urns, bounces himself onto a roof, and then that's
I guess that was it, because now
they're doing a fucking initiation.
He has to like drink some water that has like a scroll burned into it, and
his blood,
chicken blood, his blood. And
that's after he like recites like some fucking haikus,
and they fucking knight him or something. Like,
yeah, he knights him. He does the fucking shouldered sword, and he's like, if you tell anybody, we will spill blood from you from all 5 holes. That's an actual line.
Yep, I like the. How many corners did you pass? How many beaches did you travel by?
Did you travel by boat or feet?
He's like, the mountains were too high. They covered the corners.
The corners were covered.
The ocean was too deep. It covered the beaches. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't even know how he knows what to answer.
I don't know. Shit. It's because you know why? Because he's Jack Slaughter.
Because Jack Slaughter. You mean Jack
Sargent? Jack Slaughter is a whole. I'm sure that's going to come up in a later movie.
I'm sure
Jack Slaughter.
I'm sure it's a different name for a different time.
I'm sure I picked
on it's Jack Sargent.
I'm sure I picked on something I should have picked on, but he's like, did you travel by feet or by boat? Both.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It's insane.
Fucking gobbledygook.
And if you tell anybody about the Dragon Force, will kill you by spilling blood from all 5 holes.
All 5 holes.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
I mean, there's more than 5 holes on a human.
In the meantime, the other fucking Goombas are trying to get the fucking steel out of the princess.
So they decide they're gonna do a thing where they're gonna acupuncture her and basically make her like a zombie. With acupuncture.
Yes. The parrot technique.
Yes. It's called the parrot technique.
We get a fucking scene where they go to like a marketplace. Our Dragon Force goes to a marketplace.
Because they're trying to find information because no
one knows where the princess is being held.
The friend and his sister are like still out there.
Yeah.
So they're going to go find information from them. And so they're in a marketplace.
Following them.
They follow them in a marketplace, and then they get into a huge fight with just some random dudes. And then it was weird because like they changed actors, and they just act like it just fucking didn't happen.
Well, they did a Black Dynamite.
They really did, because the guy looks completely different and has a beard. So like,
well, they start following them in a car, and it's like one guy. The guy in the car, it's like a guy in a fucking fedora and a 40s private eye outfit.
Okay, now remember this. He's in a fedora. A fedora. Remember that. He doesn't have any. He's clean shaven, and he's
dressed in like a suit.
So then
they follow them.
They go back to the house, and they get out of the car. And the guy that gets out of the car with the woman has a beard, fucking furry ass hair on top of his head, and like a different suit.
And they're like
completely different guy.
Yeah. And then they see like one of the bodyguards, and the guy's like, "I'm on your side. Like, we're trying to find the princess." And then immediately, because they got followed by ninjas,
and then you hear
there's an immediate fucking
upstairs.
fight.
So they run upstairs, and
everyone's dead.
And then the guy investigates, and he gets the one bodyguard.
The main bodyguard
investigates, and he gets killed by the two ninjas.
And then they're screwed. So they somehow, some way, through ways I don't fucking comprehend, they are gonna send the woman dragon to pretend to be like a nightclub singer.
Yes.
Because
and implant a tracker.
One of the bad guys, he's got needs.
Yes.
And he's always at this nightclub, and he wants her. And so there's a fucking thing of like a bowl of olives, and she just takes one and shoves it in his fucking mouth like a monkey.
I think I swallowed a seed.
And then I was like, okay, haha, good joke. And then
they like, she tries to leave. He won't take no for an answer.
What?
So
it's like one of those, like, I don't know what they're called. They have them in like, or they used to have them in Asia, where it's like you sit in the fucking seat.
And someone carries you.
And someone carries you on wheels.
Yes.
And the guy like
I don't
gets
remember the name for.
And they're like,
I know the name, but I can't remember right now.
But the guy's like carrying her, and he's like, "Let's go to your place." And she's like, "No, I live with my parents."
So she
like, "Oh, I know a secret place." And they're playing like the fucking Looney Tunes music.
Well, and then she like backflips off the
She's
cart.
Like, no, stop it! And then she backflips off and like stops it.
Like pulls it up so he's like trapped in the air.
It's like, what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? She like pushes him forward and then lets him down, and they start fighting. And
he is not. This is the strongest. Apparently, this is the strongest dude in the fucking movie.
There's one stronger. Remember, the guy that kills him.
Yeah, but he at least like reacts when he's punched.
Well,
this guy, he gets punched and he just like ha ha ha, and then he like takes her and like puts her in a headlock, and she takes like a tiny fucking needle
and like pokes his ear.
And I was like, okay. And then she
takes the fucking cart and like lifts it right into his neck.
By his ball sack.
Like right by his ball sack, and then like throws him in the river.
That's him.
So that's a scene.
By the way, we also forgot there's a quick scene where our guy Jack Sargent gets hit by a ninja star in his.
Oh, and he gets.
The scene makes no sense, by the way. Oh, by the way, continuity. He gets hit with a ninja star in his hand. Later on, when he's poisoned by the ninja star,
it's in his arm.
It's in his like upper
bicep.
Arm. And then our guy
in the floating hospital,
Bruce Lee in the floating hospital, because that's the only hospital that can treat ninja wounds well. And he knows how to fix this, so he takes a snake, a cobra, and the cobra bites his wound.
I don't know how that's supposed to make this better.
It's like, what do they teach you? What do they teach you in math class, Will?
2 negatives make a positive. If you have poison, just get bit by something more poison.
More poison. Here's the thing, like
word of caution, dude, never.
Don't do this.
Don't fucking do this. Don't fucking do this.
Here's the thing, like, this isn't explained. But I'm pretty sure by the fucking lizard brain who wrote this,
they literally thought that we could suspend our disbelief that much that poison can be counteracted by another poison.
And it worked.
It does work because the guy's fine.
It's fine. And then after
And
all
even
this,
hits on the one woman.
yeah, who the fuck was she?
She's like an informant or something.
I don't even know, dude.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because guess what? A horny man has a fucking tracker.
Yep.
And I initially thought
we both thought, not just you, we both thought
the little needle was a tracking device, and she poked a tracker into his brain. So they're tracking him, and they see where he's going, and then they're like trying to go out there because they know that. Oh, because the tracker also has a fucking like microphone.
Yes, they can hear him talking. How convenient.
And the guy's like, "Oh, you're gonna do the acupuncture, the parrot technique," and Bruce Lee's like,
I mean, you've heard
the parrot technique.
You've
They're gonna
heard of like dumping all your exposition in one scene. This is a weird way to do it, but okay.
Yeah, with a tracking device.
Your exposition dump weird ass tracking device that like also records audio.
And it's perfect. But yeah, they're
Even though it's in his body, it's perfect. Who cares?
It's crisp audio, baby.
It's in his fucking stomach.
It's in his stomach. And and it's not in his brain. Yeah, it's the fucking olive seed.
I still have questions about the when they find the tracker because they say it was in his stomach. Did they just wait until he shat it out and then they fucking like cleaned it off? Like what the fuck did they do?
So they can hand it to the big bad. Here you go, buddy.
We found it in his stomach. It's like what? How the fuck did you retrieve that?
Did you open him? Like what'd you
go
do?
Through his fucking colon? Like what the fuck did you do?
Oh, we don't need explanations.
Just we found it in his stomach. Yeah, it was the olive that she like forced down his throat.
Oh my god! And then the parrot technique is they're gonna put acupuncture. Okay, so they shave.
They shave her head,
and they're gonna. They write. They take a fucking like paintbrush.
I don't fucking.
And they paint Mandarin text on her naked body.
And then they
acupuncture
her like 8 times, and she's a zombie.
And somehow all of that combined,
she's a zombie now.
Makes you a zombie.
And she'll do whatever the fat man says.
Meaning she'll be like, "Yes, I'll sign your fucking trade deal."
Also, I love how this is dubbed. So the Russian guy does. They didn't even.
Oh yeah, Bruce.
At least they didn't even bother with like a fake Russian accent or anything.
Well, Bruce Lee's got like he sounds like almost British.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Like the dubbing is so bad in this.
And they get to this fucking place, and immediately ninjas. Ninjas everywhere.
Well, so there's henchmen with bats with nails in them.
They come in no handy because those henchmen
get dispatched very quickly.
Because see, there's 2 henchmen. There's the henchmen, which are just like bald guys
like
with fucking bats, and then there's the ninjas,
the strong red ninjas.
But then there's like
there's the 2 big bads, which is green. A green and a maroon ninja.
Like a video game.
Okay?
You rank up.
You rank up, so you go from red and tan henchmen to red ninjas to green and maroon ninja.
But there's a scene where they're fighting them.
Oh, and
I swear to God.
Well, no, I swear it multiplies every time. It looks, like you said, it looks like a Naked Gun sketch.
It's a fucking spoof scene.
Because literally what happens is they're fighting ninjas, and then 2 come down, right? And then they're fighting them.
We see open windows,
and they take
with
them
2
down,
red ninjas jumping out.
and then 3 jump down. And then they dispatch those, and then 7 come down, and then they dispatch those, and then 13 fucking ninjas just jump down from nowhere.
They just keep going, and then they're walking through the hallways, and then just fucking ninjas come from the sides.
You can sum up the rest of these fucking these fight scenes with just ninjas. There's just so many fucking ninjas in this last
and it's
these
amazing
last fight scenes, and they're all dressed in red so they can keep using the same fucking actors over and over.
Genius. And yeah, they beat them up, and then they're in the middle of they're finishing up their acupuncture, and then they leave Eva, I guess, because she's like a double fucking agent
Well, and she's
person.
like, we have to make this look real, so they slap her around a little bit.
She's bloody, and then they give her a fucking tracking device, and they do a
like
funny thing where it's like a home shopping network thing
she like displays it.
in front of the camera.
Pulls it out. Like, just
Observe the home shopping network
I'm surprised it didn't like spin on a pedestal or something.
with like shiny and like it's got 12 buttons on it, and they
All this could be yours for 2 easy payments of
Order now.
$29.99. Order now. She like presents it to the camera.
She does. She presents it, and then so they all like the fucking fat guy. I swear to God.
He got this like.
There's a doorway.
The movie's humor is very odd and like just
Childish.
random.
Well, he's like they're like running. It's like a serious moment. They're trying to catch him, and then there's like a doorway. And he's just like
He gets stuck in the doorway.
help me, and then some guy like shoves him, and then he's like trying to get in the helicopter. He's like, help me.
And then like some guy just smacks him on the ass, and the
Like,
helicopter flies away.
So they escape.
Oh.
And they have Ava, and then there's literally a scene where
This is like the next scene.
they're in like
They don't even wait to show she's a double agent.
No.
They literally, this movie has no chill.
they're in an apartment, and then she goes into her room, and then like the other like dragon lady follows her.
She's like, "Do you have any cigarettes?" Oh,
Like she knows. What's this? A tracking device. And then she like runs, she like locks the door, and then we get like a POV shot, and she's like, no, and then a ninja kills her, and then just,
I still don't understand what happened here.
and then he vanishes into nothing.
He didn't even like try and kill the Dragon Force. He literally just kills.
He kills her and leaves a note,
Yeah.
and the note just says,
It's an invitation to like lunch.
"You're invited to lunch at so and so island."
Now it becomes a stupid version of Enter the
Where
Dragon.
they go to an island, and then fucking. I'm shocked that at no point during this fucking dinner that like Bruce Lee or Jack Sargent didn't just say like, somehow I'd like to leave your island. Like I'm not even kidding. Like, but they go there and there's like a ninja training camp. Remember?
Oh well, no. It's weird because there's like a puppet show. And
There's a puppet show.
There's a guy jumping through knives.
There's a guy
There's a guy
using a whip.
breathing fire. There's like just random shit everywhere.
And they sit down, and the guy's like, "I've won. Let's eat." And then a fucking buff dude
I do
comes
not,
up.
I don't. This.
A buff guy comes out, and then they like look at like one of the Dragon Force guys, and they're just like, "It's you." And
Oh
he's
wait,
like,
we forgot. Okay, so no, we forgot also. This buff dude comes in like mid scene in one of the where the henchmen are eating and kills
for no reason.
the dude that got hit in the nutsack
For no reason.
and just fucking like murders him
For no
at
reason.
dinner.
Uncalled for. There's no prompting.
While the
Here's the thing.
princess just watches.
Like they're eating, and then the buff guy walks in the scene, and the guy immediately is like, "Oh shit, I'm dead."
and they start fighting and he dies.
Okay.
So yeah, so they look at the monk and they're like, "You got to do this," and the monk's like, "Okay." So
And then they fight. He ends up winning. He shoves
well, he like takes the circle of knives and like shoves it down on the
guy's body,
and the guy dies.
and then he's dead. And then one of the other guys starts fighting, while the other guys just stand there. And then eventually they're like, "Okay, let's fight."
Well, then they all start fighting, and it's just total fucking like chaos. It's like gray shirt fucking Dragon Force versus white shirt fucking karate students.
After they finish the karate students, they run into the forest, and
This is my favorite action
This-
scene of the entire movie.
the last like 10 minutes of this is so fucking stupid and amazing.
I fucking, the fucking,
They're just like,
the fucking bombs.
dude, that's after you get like, there's so like they're in the forest.
So they're in the forest, and a bunch.
There's a tower
Surprise!
of
Surprise!
dudes.
Surprise! Surprise! More fucking ninjas. There's like a tower.
There's a tower of men.
of like 10 dudes standing on top of each other's shoulders,
And then they fall down.
They just tip over,
And then the guy at the end stands up and hops over them, and then starts fighting.
and then like they all start just flying around the trees.
There's like scenes of like ninjas like flying at the camera, and like you see like a guy just like are like guys just standing there, and then like a pair of legs from off camera just like bounce off them. It's insane.
They're just flying every which way, and then the two like big bad ninjas come on, and they're like fighting everyone, and they start throwing.
And then the guys, they have like weapons, so they start bouncing the bombs back.
Because eventually the ninjas like cut bamboo, and then gives both of them a staff, like Jack Sargent and Bruce Lee, and so they can like start fighting with the staff. Conveniently, their chosen weapon. And so the big bad ninjas start throwing bombs.
And then we just get puppets exploding.
We get scene after scene of them like yeeting the ninjas will yeet the bomb, and then like it'll just show a scene of Jack Sargent hitting the bomb away, and then a fucking flying red ninja just exploding into nothing.
We just get like we just get paper mache body parts flying around.
The fact that they just like show scene after scene of these fucking ninjas just yeeting out of existence from bombs. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking incredible.
We also get like a quick moment where like one of the ninjas like Bruce Lee has like his like bamboo staff, and he picks up a sword with the end of the staff and like twirls it around,
and then like flings it into a fucking ninja.
Flings it into two ninjas somehow. But yeah, they blow them all up.
Well, and we also get the cool ass scene where one of the ninjas is flying, and Jack Sargent just takes the hilt of one of the swords and just fucking like
throws it at him.
Throws the sword like javelin style into one of the ninjas.
It's insane. It's fucking insane.
Oh,
and then
it's great.
They're like at a beach now, and like the guy's getting away.
He's gonna get into a boat, and
they're fighting, and like now like the princess is like a zombie. So she's like trying to kill them.
She's trying to protect the fat guy,
and they're fighting the two big bad ninjas.
Yes.
Like the green and maroon.
Yes, the green and the maroon.
And they run into a giant. Bosses. They run into a fucking tower of danger.
Danger cans.
Of danger cans, and you know what's gonna happen?
Well, so one of the green ninja the red ninja gets. So the zombie lady accidentally like stabs him because like
she's trying to stab Jack Sargent.
Jack Sargent, and Jack Sargent just throws this maroon ninja in the way, and he gets stabbed. As they fucking they do this like weird like knockout trick on her, and she's like conveniently just knocked out for the rest of the fight with the green ninja.
And then they run into the fucking tower of danger.
It's only Bruce Lee,
and the ninja throws a fucking bomb, and it starts a fire. And then Bruce Lee kicks him into the fire.
And he like starts coming out, and he's gonna fight again. And Bruce Lee kicks him back into the fire.
And then that's it. And then the fat guy is getting into a boat. And then there's
incredible.
Like a chick there, and she's got a machine gun and just shooting at him. And then the fat guy drives away in his boat, and she's like, "What about me?"
She's like, "Why are you leaving me?"
She gets knocked out. Jack Sargent takes the machine gun and just shoots the boat. And
I love the last scene is the fat guy just turning around and like awkwardly looking at them as his fucking boat just explodes.
The scene literally just ends. It literally just ends with the fucking car with the princess, and she's like, "I'm so glad that, so and so was really skilled with acupuncture and got me out of my trance."
Yeah.
And then they're all just standing there. And then she's like, "Thank you, so-and-so. Thank you, Jack Sargent."
He's like, "Especially Bruce Lee.
I would never have done it without you, and especially the Dragon Force." End movie. This is so stupid.
What a fucking way to start 1982. This is dumb.
This is amazing.
But it is entertaining as all hell.
Dude,
this is like it's so fucking dumb. It's brain dead.
This is our
shit.
This is why we started this podcast, because trust me, I love the good movies we get. I love the genuinely great movies we get.
Yes.
But the whole reason that all that time ago we started this podcast is because I wanted to see
Movies like
stupid
this.
shit like this that was entertaining. Because there's stupid shit that's boring. Then there's this.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. The fight scenes are great. There's a lot of...
The exploding ninjas are like my favorite part.
That
was
whole-
like the funniest shit to watch on the
Because
planet.
they literally have these actors on like zip lines flying at the camera and exploding.
Into paper mache parts.
And it's great. And like there's a ton of crazy shit in the fights.
Well, and it's funny because it almost looks like a gag, but they're taking it very seriously.
Well, this is literally like it's like a Zucker Brothers gag. It's like fucking Kentucky Fried Movie Naked Gun fucking shenanigans.
It's like Naked Gun if it does it's not aware that it's...
But they don't know.
Like, of the joke.
Yeah.
It's like if Naked Gun wasn't aware that it was a comedy.
Yeah. That's what you have here.
Yes.
Like a message by fortune cookie.
But then on the other hand, it doesn't take itself seriously at all because there's like goofy
There's
ass
jokes everywhere.
Goofy ass music. The guy's name is fucking Jack Sargent.
There's a Bond reference.
There's jokes everywhere. The fucking great flower company. You're telling me they weren't aware that that was a fucking joke?
That was the best joke.
So in some respects it takes itself seriously, but in other respects it doesn't at all. But just enough that this movie is fucking awesome.
Well, it's enough. It takes itself seriously enough to where it's not hee-haw.
Yeah.
Which I very much appreciate.
Oh, I did too.
Because if this leaned too hard into the hee-haw, it would be unbearable. But it doesn't.
Exactly. It takes itself just seriously enough.
It's like you're sitting there, you're lulled in, and then it's like, oh, you're relaxed. Have a fucking joke, and then you're like, what the fuck? Like a fat guy getting poked in the butt to get in the helicopter. And then it just zooms away.
This movie is incredible, and if you like stupid martial arts movies, you owe it to yourself to watch this.
This thing is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's not a very good rip, I'm not going to lie.
I have no idea if this movie has ever...
I doubt it's ever graced the DVD
anything
or Blu-ray spectrum at all.
I mean, this is not... This is cult. This is a fucking underground fucking nonsense.
Yes. But...
And I love it.
It's enjoyable as hell, and it's fucking entertaining, and I guarantee if you're into this kind of shit, you will love this movie.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Get some friends together, grab some beers, and just fucking enjoy.
Trust me. You'll love it within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, I guaranteed.
That was me. I was yeah.
Now you know what you're getting into.
Now you know.
It's a fucking
but wait until you see it.
Ridiculous action movie. Like, we can explain it all we want, but until you see it...
The tough thing about action movies
justice.
is like, you can explain it. But with action movies...
You need to see it.
You have to see that shit in action. You have to see ninjas hopping around.
You have to see ninjas exploding.
You have to see red ninjas, 50 billion red ninjas getting their asses kicked. You have to see it.
You have to see it.
Or like the part, or like most of the movie's not like violent, but there's like that part in that scene where like
they're cutting it.
A guy's head gets cut off, a fucking limb goes flying, a guy gets smashed so hard in the face with a bamboo stick that he starts like bleeding out the forehead.
They saved all the gore for that fucking end scene.
And I love it. I love it.
So, Shady to Pretty, what would you get this?
This is tough.
I'm going to rank it pretty high just on sheer entertainment alone.
I'm going to say, I was kind of going back and forth. I would say an 8.
Yes.
Because I do think, like, the beginning is a 10 out of 10. The end is a 10 out of 10.
Everything in the middle is just...
There's a middle stretch that is a little dull. It's not bad. It's not going to kill you.
Well, they have that whole, like, weird, like, club scene where she puts the tracker, and I get why they're doing that, but then, like, that's...
Oh, that scene was fine. It's just more like, it just felt a little, like, oh, we don't know what we're doing.
The pacing was a little off.
Because it was like, you could tell that the fucking brain-dead Mong who made this, he had, like, the Bond shit in the beginning, and then he was like, oh, Enter the Dragon. You can go on an island of ninjas. And it's like he had all that in his head.
Didn't
But
know
that
how to
middle
fucking-
section just...
didn't know how to pad it out.
So it's like the beginning and end is like 10 out of 10, but the middle is like a 6.
Yeah.
It just doesn't reach the insane heights of the stuff before and after.
That's fair. But yeah, no, I'd agree. 8 out of 10. Like, just fucking go watch it on YouTube. Dragon Force.
That's the thing. It's still, at the end of the day, it's only like fucking
It's
90
an hour
minutes
and 20
long.
minutes. You have to skip one of the scenes because it plays twice, but
This is some fucking bootleg shit because the rip on YouTube literally like repeats a scene.
yeah, so skip that. You'll know it's the bow staff scene when
Trust me, you'll see it.
he's getting initiated. You'll see it.
You'll be like, what? Okay.
We even had to take a double take and then figured it out. So,
I know. I was like, oh, please God, don't let the movie be broken. But thankfully, that's just that little scene.
but yeah, so I think that's all I gotta say. I mean, it's just a quick, entertaining as hell action movie
Enjoy it.
that doesn't take itself seriously almost at all.
Yeah.
But just enough to keep you interested.
Just enough to make sure you are into it.
Yep.
For an hour and a half.
So if you like martial arts
Dragon Force.
and you like fucking goofy kung fu movies, go watch Dragon Force. So, yeah,
I think that's it.
that's that. For They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we will talk to you all later.
Bye.